Greetings everyone, it is me, Gigalemon. Welcome back to Kirby, Nightmare in Dreamland. To show you how long this took, well, let me open up this menu, and if I were to load a restore point, yeah, I was trying to get this recorded for the past 2 months, and couldn't. I recorded the first 2 episodes during the production of Ape Escape. Let's just say there was a lot of things in life that was basically happening and such, including trying to basically fight mental troubles and such. But that's besides the point. Besides, at least now I have a better phone. In this case, it's enough about the phone and everything else. We're going to be worrying about the game at hand. Last time we were going through, I want to say Butter Building because that was the last world, and because this door here, you can actually see where the last level was, including a warp zone right next to it. So I guess that's a good reminder. But enough dawdling around. The one thing I'm going to have to do is play through extra mode on this game and just show the bosses that I cheesed with the abilities without the abilities. So Zwat, if you're watching this, I did that for you. Anyway, welcome to Grape Gardens. Grape Gardens is probably my least favorite world, at least when it starts in Nightmare in Dreamland. And one thing I noticed when I was editing Nightmare in Dreamland for another channel, I'm still doing that at the time of this recording, is how much I use the laser ability in this game. You'd think this would be a classic ability for the series, but no. I would only imagine that it probably got homogenized. Well, that was rude, but homogenized into another ability and such. In fact, this is probably the easiest UFO to get. Like, this stage is probably the easiest way to get UFO. And that's ironic, considering this is probably at least one of my least favorite levels in the levels or worlds in the entire game. Okay, that enemy right there, I can't remember the name for that enemy. I'll probably put a name on screen. But that enemy has a unique ability. Also, it's time to hit another big button. Honestly, that felt good. Oh, another bomb thing minigame. We'll worry about that off screen because I've already shown that. So yeah, the UFO ability is unique in the case where it's removed as soon as you go, as you go into the goal. And let's just say when you have the UFO, your objective is to try to keep it. UFO has made very rare appearances in the series, with its latest appearance in Planet Robobot. Speaking of UFO, wow, I'm so lucky I copied the UFO! I can do 4 different moves. It all depends on how long you hold B. So, in case I haven't shown this yet, well, if I tap B, well, I get to do, the beam attack, only it's a little bit slower and harder to use. If I hold B, I get to fire a laser. Depending on how long I hold B, I get to fire a charge shot. So yeah, this was before Kirby abilities were more than just a single button. But in Kirby's Adventure, there was a glitch that allowed you to trick the game to thinking you have no ability and keep the UFO ability outside of the game. Outside of the level. And let's just say Kirby's Adventure speedrunning is very interesting because people have found ways to wrong warp to the end because of how much the game's coding was very weird. I'm not entirely sure if Kirby's Adventure has spaghetti code. We'll be going through that game when we go over the extra mode for it, as to show how the game looked like back on the NES. But I'm basically doing off-screen extra mode, except for the bosses that I cheesed. But yeah. So this, you would think this would be a switch room, but it's not. It's a health refill room. And it's still weird that this game, despite having being the birthplace of all Kirby copy abilities, or at least some of them, it is the only game. It's the only game where Poppy Bros are in that do not have the bomb ability. Excuse me for a moment. Anyways, I apologize for that quick little cut, but yeah. Now for Twin Poppy Bros Senior. There's a Poppy Bros Junior and a Poppy Bros Senior, but never a Poppy Bros Master. Yeah, when there's two of certain bosses, it can get pretty dang difficult pretty easily. Because you can get easily cornered. And, well, let's just blow things up. And we'll do it again. Kirby, in the door. So, yeah. But Grape Garden is one of those, it's one of those levels where, like, I tend to remember, like, the more I played this game, the more I remembered the process of getting all the buttons in the game. I think this is to introduce the fuse to us. This series staple for finding secrets, like the fuse. This one is an easy one because it shows how the fuse works, because it gives you a lot of time to get inside the cannon. And this will give you stuff like little bonuses like 1-ups and such. However, there are going to be ones that are going to be a lot more tricky as the series goes on, and there's definitely one that is extremely tight. One I'm not going to bother going for when we go over the original version of this game, Kirby's Adventure. I'm almost dead, but we have like 24 lives to go through, so we can afford to be reckless. But here's another button, and we unlock another part, a gallery. And on top of that, buttons like that are usually another point of salvation because it gives you a health refill. There are some cases where certain buttons have health refills with them for unknown, and I can only assume that the reason for this is to provide a health refill for those that did not hit the switch. And the reason for that is because this game has 4-player multiplayer, and I'm going to assume that they were testing the waters with multiplayer with this game before making Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, another game we'll look at as the Kirby retrospective goes on. All this says right now, Kirby's 6th generation appearances are weird. Like, Kirby has a bit of growing pains he's still going through, because you'd think they would adopt the formula that Superstar established, but they didn't adopt that formula until Kirby Squeak Squad, and I've heard very not so fun things about that game. Alright, I'm not playing as Meta Knights. I do not have access to the downward stab. Okay, actually, because it's here, this is the ball ability. This is a very interesting ability that it looks very useless at first. But basically, it's when you hold A, well, Kirby decides to pinball all around and become an indestructible orb of death. And you press B to unball. What I find this ability to be a bit of a missed opportunity because I'm pretty sure if this ability appeared in a later game, let's say something after Forgotten Land, the game that I'll get to someday, someday in the far future, that game is what started this whole thing. I'm pretty sure if it appeared in a new game or something like that, there'd be abilities that just show the full potential of it. change form and hold the A button. Bounce, boing, bonk. But, of course, we have another thing here. And for this thing, well, I'm going to create a restore point for this area. And the reason for this being is because there's a 1-up opportunity here. You do not need this one. Yes, Cleo? But it's right. But it can be, but it's something that, that I want to show off. So, if it takes me a few, low restore points, well, you know why. Because this thing is dang near impossible to do in Kirby's Adventure, so don't be surprised if I don't go for it. So, I keep holding left before. So, I will be back when I get the successful take. And speaking of successful takes, might as well talk about this now. I ride like a wind. Fast. Too fast. Let's try that again. There we go. And that's a successful take, because if you screw up in any of the parts, like if you slow down, you will not catch up. Those last 3 parts are crucial. But yeah, it's probably one of the harder 1-ups to get. But speaking of which, we might as well just use the beam ability. I believe I talked about this one before. Against Fan. I know a lot of these boss names to hearts because of Kirby Superstar Ultra, and this was an entirely different character in in the original. Like, instead of an elephant, it was a ladybug. And this elephant has an ability that would soon become part of another ability, the throw. Try throwing enemies straight, press up or down to change the direction. So yeah, now Kirby's Inhale has a little more power. So throw, but instead of inhaling it into Kirby's body, Kirby will hold on to the enemy, and if you don't press any input, he will throw by himself. So you can do this, and then toss. And of course I killed that Waddle Dee, but who cares, we can use these on these star blocks as well. So, yeah. This is probably one of my favorite single button abilities in this game because of just the idea of it. And I did not press the button. Joy. Anyway. Yes, phone, I know. Man, everything's giving me notifications. I probably should have silenced my phone before beginning this recording. Anyway, now we're in level 5 and we're going through, well, this. This is good thing that Maximeo was there. But yeah, if you are playing this on the Wii U, do not expect any multiplayer. So if you want to play multiplayer of this, you either have to get 4 copies of the game and enough link cables to have, like I'm talking about having a link cable and additional stuff. And oh no. Well, there goes my throw ability. Goodbye fun. I'm not going to go through that level again just to get it, but there you go. But you either have to get 4 copies of the game, hopefully without breaking the bank, and hopefully they're authentic, because I'm pretty sure that you can't exactly link a real copy with a fake copy. But then again, I'm not sure how much... Now that was just my fault. I'm not sure... I'll be right back. Okay, I gotta stop doing that, because I've done that so many times by complete accident, and it was 100% my fault. But anyway, seriously, game, whatever. Oh, we got mix. So if you swallow two, of course, in the Let's Play, I get light. I get the most useless Kirby ability in the game. Like, literally. of course when I'm showing off mix, I get light. You wanna know what it does in here? Absolutely nothing. Yep, Kirby just flicks on the light switch in another room. What purpose does it serve? To look flashy? To show technological advancements on the NES? Well, in this game, it's just useless. But back at the topic at hand, this is the only door of this size. Oh, it's Meta Knight again, here to test our metal. Ironically, this is easier to do without any abilities, because if you have certain abilities, it can either be very freaking easy or absolutely miserable. Like so. Yeah, I'm going to die. I'm going to die most of the time whenever I'm faced with these. Because then, again, depending on the ability, you'll either have a fun time, which is very rare in this instance, or a very miserable time, which is going to be which is going to be dang near guaranteed when you're playing this section with abilities. Anyways, back to what I was saying before everything in the world has to interrupt me. Again, I'm not sure how bootleg repro copies can counteract certain measures to make sure that the hardware recognizes, oh hey, this is a real copy. You can connect to this. Because, fun fact, I almost owned a fake copy of Pokemon Emerald, and it wouldn't be until like a few years after high school until I got my real copy of Emerald. And until then, I only had one Gen 3, until then I only had like 2 Gen 3 games, and one of them I inherited from my late brother. I miss him still, but you need to have 4 copies of the game, a link cable that allows other link cables to be plugged into it so you can connect 4, or netplay via MGBA, which is something I have yet to try out myself. But hey, we got the top score. In this game, when I was trying to speed through it to try to get extra mode covered off screen, these worlds can get longer and longer as it goes on. So, of course, let's enter level 6. And, of course, you start in the castle. You start at the very top, too. And not only is this a castle, but a castle underwater. This either is a quarry or what. I don't know what this is, but it's definitely got that, got Kirby's version of the pool room aesthetic here. But yeah. Oh, that was close. Let's just say, in terms of Kirby abilities, from what I've heard, the burning ability is probably one of the best abilities, but not the best abilities in the game in terms of speedrunning. But yeah. Excuse me? Oh, never mind. I guess I'm not taking the mic ability then. Oh well. In we go, Kirby. Now you need the light ability to see this door. Actually, no, you don't. Because once you know where the door is, on repeat playthroughs, all you need to do is just hold up on that particular area. Because light will reveal it, but once you know it's there, you don't need that ability. Light is so freaking useless. You know you're bad when you make an ability that's worse than sleep. Sleep has its purpose in other games. For example, they made an actual freaking ability in Kirby Battle Royale, and I find it a shame that they have not made that version of the ability not available in a main series Kirby game. Seriously, I would like to go on a pillow fight to save the world. But yeah. But you do have a different version of that ability for Kirby in the Forgotten Land, which is sleep in deep sleep. In deep sleep, along with the bed being a hitbox, you also have the game, you also have the game basically, give you a free boost, and the boost is randomized. You either get an extra health bar, or an extra, or a speed boost, or a damage boost. I'm only talking about this now since, well, it's been a few months since Forgotten Land released. But now we're gonna go over Grape Garden. Or, oh right, I actually can't use the ball here. I have to use high jump, or at least tornado, to get to the boss arena. Because, I'm gonna tell you this right now, unless you're really good at mashing, and there's a reason why they give you multiple of this enemy, it is very hard to outrun Kracko in this state. And in this state, this is, while it may look like Kracko Jr., it's Kracko himself. You don't fight Kracko Jr., but Kracko Jr. will try to chase you down. But yeah, everyone knows this boss. This is Kracko. And this is a boss that, while iconic, doesn't appear in every single Kirby game. It is not like Wispy Woods. But with the high jump, well, you can easily tell how easy this boss can be. Like, this is one of those cases of the boss being absolutely easy with this ability. So yeah. And now for the next boss in, well, Nightmare in Dreamland, only without an ability. Let me take, now we are going to go to the sky with the high jump, but the moment we reach that point, we're going to ditch that high jump. Because if we try to do it without the high jump, well, that will happen. At the very least, I gotta show the results of that, but hey, it is what it is. So, now, supposedly you can bring the tornado into this, but good luck with that. Because one, you have to find the enemy that gives the tornado, and you have to make sure you can get up here with the tornado. Because the moment you know you're up with the tornado is this. Now we're going to discard our ability and fight Kracko without any abilities at all. So yeah, Kracko will always drop an enemy, and it's usually going to be the Starmen. Yep, that's what they're called in this game, apparently. Usually, I'm used to Kracko dropping Waddle Doos. But nope, in this boss fight, it's Starman. However, he's not swooping low enough for me to hit. Sometimes certain jumps are a lot easier to make. But Kracko is a bit more of an honorable fighter, who treats Kirby like a rival. According to lore, that is. So again, we have to keep dodging. Or this. Of course, Kracko is going to drop another Starman, and I missed, but I'm sure we can get him again. Jump. Swallow another Starman. And we only need to score one more hit. And that's it. So I will see you with Heavy Mole. Well, Heavy Mole without abilities. So, back in a moment. So, yeah. Since we're already past the half-hour mark, well, I'd say this would be a good point to stop the recording. So, if you want to donate, there are a couple links in the description below. If you want to subscribe and keep up with series like this, all you have to do is hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, and you'll be on your way. But you don't have to if you don't want to. Just, you know what, I'm giving you the option to. I'm not forcing you to. It's just that it's appreciated. Anyways, I hope you're taking good care of yourself, and I shall bid you adieu.